Good morning. This is Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County, courtroom 304. This is the arraignment calendar and the jail calendar. I think we only have one arraignment case today. And the rest of the jail calendar cases. Let's call the arraignment case July 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Ashley Shante Mitchell. Ashley Shante Mitchell. Okay, someone posted that they can't hear me. 1 second.
Judge, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Not sure what's going on. Check your, if you can't hear me, check your speaker. Hold on, yeah, they can't hear me. Hold on, let me send a message. All right. All right, so said that. All right, so last call for Ashley Shante Mitchell. This was scheduled per her request, and she has an active bench warrant. Is anyone aware of Ms. Mitchell? I'll reserve to the she'll have a bench warrant, but I'll reserve to the end of the calendar in case she's having trouble signing on. All right, the jail cases first on the calendar is Kyra Elise Brooks. Do we have a preference for whether we're doing males or females first?
Good morning, y'all. If we could do the males first, because it's only two. We have more females today than we do for the males.
Okay. So as I heard, males first.
Yes,
the first person is, oh my gosh, this is almost entirely female. Michael D. Olds. Michael D. Olds.
All right, give me 1 second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jones.
He said he'll be right back.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Old.
Yes.
So, Mr. Olds, I have that you're here for a suspended sentence that you had you owed money on a $680 on a license, not no license charge from 2023. I'm sorry, 2013. And you were arrested because there was an outstanding warrant for your failure to pay and complete your sentence. I'm going to go ahead and give you credit for time served since you were in since July 3rd of 2024. So I'm signing that now, and you should be released today. Okay.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Olds has an additional pending case that Attorney Hahn was speaking with Solicitor Brooks about.
Okay, I have the SSD, and let me look for the other one. Yeah, that's the only one I have on my calendar. Does he have, is it a traffic offense or something else?
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, that's all I have.
I'll just ask for him to be kept upstairs so that I can speak with Ms. Hahn. But I'll let
Okay.
Ms. Olds know that as far as.
All
this
right, I
case
mean,
is
there may be
concerned,
something pending. All I have is the SSD, which I've already done the modification order. So if we determine that that's all he has, then he can go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But this one, CR 05682, that case is done.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Next is Kenneth Pack. This is unique. I have 2 males and the rest are all female.
Right here. Got the camera. Where you, Mr. Pack? I'm Mr. Taylor. Judge is here, and you can also. see-
Mr. Pat,
Hello, Your Honor.
hi. Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down, Mr. Pack. You're before the court for case 2024 CR 05598 for criminal trespass. You're represented by Mr. Taz Taylor with the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. Mr. Taylor, what does your client plead to the offense of criminal trespass?
We're pleading guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Pack, by entering a plea of guilty, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On June 25th, 2024, officers with the Atlanta Police Department were on general patrol in the atrium area of the airport located at 6234 Spine Road here in Clayton County. And they were approached, they observed the defendant, Kenneth Pack, walking with a group of soldiers. The officers were familiar with Mr. Pack and ultimately made contact with Mr. Pack, did confirm his identity and advised and inquired of his business at the airport. He advised that the soldiers were going to buy him some food. The officers advised that he had a criminal trespass warning that was issued on February the 2nd of 2024. He was arrested on criminal trespass. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation to the criminal trespass charge is 12 months to serve, 10 days credited for time served. He's been in custody since the incident, June 25th. The balance is to be suspended upon him not returning to the airport without legitimate business at the airport.
All right. So, Mr. Taylor, anything else on behalf of Mr. Pack?
No, Your Honor, just we ask that you accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. So, Mr. Pack, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 10 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended. So as long as you do not go back to the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport during the next 12 months. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pack. Mr. Pack, they're making it harder for people who are not flying to go to the airport. So please make sure that you, don't hang out at the airport, okay? Or else you'll be back here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can go back with the sheriff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, my understanding is Miss Mitchell is on. Miss Mitchell? Ashley Shante Mitchell?
Give me 1 second, I'm gonna grab it from the back.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna do Miss Mitchell's case. Miss Mitchell, May I see you, please? All right, yes, ma'am. So you're before the court for no insurance on case 2021 CR 05925. No insurance carries the possibility of a suspension of your license if you don't have a no-low plea available to you. Do you need to have an attorney represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself and speak with the state about what they're offering?
I can, you said what now?
So do you wish to have an attorney to represent you, or do you wish to represent yourself?
I can, represent myself unless I need an attorney.
I can't tell you whether you do or don't. That's up to you.
I can have one, it doesn't matter.
All right. Miss Hahn is talking to someone at this time, and I think Mr. Taylor is working with with our other calendar. So so Miss Mitchell, do you know how to use the chat function on the computer? If you look, there should be like something that looks like a little cartoon bubble.
It's a team chat.
Yes. When you click on chat, you should see something something in blue. Should say everyone, I think. Do you see it?
No, ma'am, I see add contacts.
No. You're on, I think, another app. That part is on another app. You're looking for something that just looks like a little white face that says chat. Do you have, are you on a phone? Oh, we lost you.
Your Honor, I could try to chat her and see if she could just respond. That's easier.
Yes, could you please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Miss Mitchell, Miss Hahn is going to send you a chat. When you see something pop up with a red number next to it, go ahead and click on that and respond to it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So while y'all are chatting, Miss Mitchell, Miss Hahn is gonna call you with the number that you send back to her, and then y'all can talk about your case, and she can advise you as to what decision you wish to make. Okay. All right. Are y'all ready in the courtroom with the female inmates?
Okay, there we go.
Your Honor, we're ready. Your Honor, we're ready for Miss Daniel.
Amanda Ruth Daniel?
Yes.
Petition? Okay. One second.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. I got your phone number, so I'll be calling you shortly. If you could mute your device that you're on, please.
All right, so Ms. Daniel, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Amanda Ruth Daniel, 2024 CR 00117. You were before this court for simple battery family violence on the 23rd day of January 2024. You were sentenced to 9 months on probation after you served 90 days in jail. You have 5 months and 28 days remaining. Your sentence was told because you failed to report on February 21st, February 29th, April 9th, and within 10 days of April 10th of 2024, as directed by probation. You last reported on January 31st of 2024. You failed to comply with counseling. You were to enroll in a family violence intervention program. You failed to attend AA or NA meetings 1 time per week as directed and show proof of attending those meetings, and you are $215 in arrears. Ms. Hahn, what's going on with Ms. Daniel?
So, Your Honor, I'm going to let Ms. Daniel speak in a little bit more detail for herself, but there was an incident it's complicated, with her daughter's fiance dying, and then there was a shooting that happened. Ms. Daniel, you can explain what happened, but it basically caused her to have to flee the area and go down to Tiffany. As you can see, Your Honor, she's got the sling on because she was shot by this person when she returned. So the threat was real. If she could explain just why she left.
Your Honor, when I got out in January, I went home to 2 of my daughters, one being 21-year-old and one being 20. Apparently, the 21-year-old's boyfriend sold my 20-year-old's fiance what was supposed to be a Percocet pill. It turned out to be fentanyl, and it killed him. 3 days later, I was released from jail. I started asking questions. I was attacked by my 21-year-old boyfriend. I did call the police. I have the police cards in my property. I called them several times, actually, with no avail. Nothing happened. So the detectives did come and do their detective work, and it's still an ongoing investigation since January. My oldest daughter seen my black eye, Asia Ruth, and she said, "Come on, Mom, you can't stay here," because they've already threatened me when I asked questions, what's going on. So we did flee. We went down to Tipton, Georgia. I did relapse once there on alcohol. I admitted myself into a detox center in May. I was at the Riverwood right here in Clayton County. And upon my release on May the 7th, I stayed with a friend because I was trying to get into a program called the Mary Hall Freedom House. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I did call the what? I'm sorry.
It was called the Mary Hall Freedom House.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And so they told me that I would wait up to a month for bed space, that I did pre-qualify because I already did my enrollment while I was at the detox. My daughter's boyfriend found out where I was staying in Forest Park, and he sent someone and shot me. So the shooter has been arrested, but it's still ongoing investigation with the boyfriend. But that's initially why I didn't report, because I fled 230 miles away from here, and being without no vehicle.
And Your Honor, she understands that she probably should have reached out to Ms. Chang to explain at least once what happened, but I think her priorities were elsewhere. And so I asked Ms. Daniel about the AA meeting. She hadn't done them, but she did enroll into the program. Ms. Chang has given us a recommendation that we're prepared to accept if the court is willing to accept.
Right. Ms. Chang, what's your recommendation?
Good morning, Your Honor. Probation recommends that 35 days be revoked. Credit for time served since her confinement on June the 4th, and close the case.
Okay. All right, so she served the time already, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
I was not aware that she was in jail.
Okay, I got you.
And Your Honor, I don't think I said that we would stipulate to the technical violations, but.
I got you. No problem. Yeah, I don't have any, she doesn't have any new crimes, just the technicals. All right, so I have that defendant was a victim of a violent crime and had to flee the area. Defendant was in jail when probation realized she was back in the jurisdiction. Defendant shall have 35 days revoked, credit for time served, and shall be released today. Case closed. How's that?
Your Honor. She didn't hear you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry about what happened to you, and what your family is going through. Okay, but it's so incredibly important that you maintain sobriety during this period of time. So please make sure that you do go to the AA meetings because that's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to help you help your family. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Chang. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we ready on the next case?
Sorry, Your Honor. Come step up. We're ready on Ms. Brooks.
All right, so Ms. Kyra Elise Brooks. Ms. Brooks, you have two cases before the court. The first case is 2022 CR 07492, no license, improper lane change. The second case is 2024 CR 05529, hit and run accident, improper lane change, no license.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're represented by the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. You are representing her on both cases. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You're represented by Attorney Taz Taylor, who's with you at the at the podium. Mr. Taylor, on case 2022 CR 07492, what does your client plead to the offenses of no license and improper lane change?
Your Honor, she's pleading guilty. See up here.
And on 2024 CR 05529, what does she plead to the offenses of hit and run accident, improper lane change, and no license for 30 plus days?
She is also pleading guilty to those three charges, Your Honor.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to each of these offenses on each of these cases, Ms. Brooks, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. As to case number 2022 CR 07492, on September the 18th of 2022, officers with the Clayton County Police Department were doing traffic enforcement in the area of Upper Riverdale Road. Officers observed the vehicle change lanes from the far right onto the left turning lane without a signal, drove in the turning lane, entered the gore, crossed the gore, and then made the left turn onto Upper Riverdale Road. Officer initiated traffic stop, identified the driver, Miss Kyra Brooks, at which time the officer learned that she had no license. She was placed under arrest for the same. This all occurred here in Clayton County. As to case number 2024 CR 05529, on October 14th, 2000.
Mr. Brooks, I apologize. Something popped up on my screen and I looked at it and I missed your recommendation on the first case.
No problem. To count 1 and 2 is 12 months to serve, 30 days to run concurrent with one another.
Mm-hmm.
The balance is suspended upon no new violations of law.
Okay.
For case 2024 CR 05529, on October 14th, 2023, officers with the Clayton County Police Department responded to an accident in the area of Upper Riverdale Road. Officers, when they arrived on scene, the driver of one of the vehicles involved in the accident had fled the scene. The officers did determine that the accident was the result of an improper lane change, and they ultimately was able to determine that the driver of the vehicle was Miss Kyra Brooks. She was identified by her passenger as well as her mother, who was the owner of the vehicle that was left on the scene. Officers also determined that she did not have a license, being a resident more than 30 days in the state. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation to count 1, 2, and 3 is 30 days, 12 months to serve, 30 days to run concurrent with one another. and to run concurrent with case number 2022 CR 7492.
All right. Mr. Taylor, anything on behalf of Ms. Brooks?
No, Your Honor. We just ask that you accept the negotiated plea.
Ms. Brooks, obviously you like to drive. Why can't you get a license?
I couldn't get a license because I had a warrant.
Okay, well then you need to stop driving.
Yeah,
And you hit your mama's car. Did the warrant get taken care of already?
I go to see for the warrant, I think this month, but I haven't been driving. I just ran to the store real quick. I know that's considered driving, but really in all, I have not been driving.
Please don't get behind the wheel of a car until you have a license and insurance. Okay, because if you kill somebody, then what's gonna happen?
Yeah, man, but I really don't drive. I got a driver. I have a driver. I don't drive.
You got a driver.
Yeah, I have a driver. I'm a rapper. I'm a driver.
Okay, what's your rap name?
Hey, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look out for you. Now, when you get up there where you Kendrick Lamar battle rapping and stuff, I pay attention at that point. Otherwise, I probably won't know, but my kids will. But what I need you to do is stay from behind the wheel. Good thing you got a driver. That's an important thing, because if you're gonna do this rap game, you gotta be places, but you don't need to keep getting locked up everywhere you go. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
And once all this gets cleared up, get your license.
I'm trying. I'm gonna do it. I'm not trying. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, please, and thank you. And keep your license in good stead because you're gonna need it. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck on your rap career, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So just remember, as long as you don't have any new violations of the law, we don't have to see each other again. I'll be looking at your videos.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Are the counts on the second case ending 5529, are they all 12 months suspended after serving 30 days?
Yep.
And there's no credit for time served. It's a straight serving of 30 days
She got credit for time served.
on all of it.
Well, no. Did she get credit for time served, Taz? I didn't hear that.
I'm not sure if Solicitor Brooks indicated, but my understanding was credit for time served.
Yeah, I don't know how much time she's been in custody. So
How long has she been in?
whatever time she's been in custody, then yeah, credited. But I don't know that she's been in 30 days.
I'll give her credit since date of lockup.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks for Ms. Wright for catching that. All right, who's next?
One more, Your Honor.
Okay. So I think we have Ms. White, Ms. Rucker, Ms. Jones, and Ms. Chambers.
Thank you. This is the judge. This is the solicitor.
All right. Who, what's your name, ma'am?
Assia White.
Okay. All right. Assia Keon White.
Yes.
All right, raise your right hand for me. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You before the court on state of Georgia, to Assia Keon White for criminal trespass, case 2024 CR 05638. You're represented by attorney Taz Taylor with the law firm of Lister, Holt and Dennis. Miss White, I'm sorry, Mr. Taylor, what is your client plead to the offense before the court?
Ms. White is pleading guilty to the charge.
All right. So by entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of the innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, confront witnesses. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On on April 30th, 2024, officers with the Atlanta Police Department one moment, y'all, forgive me.
How do you spell it?
On June 11, 2024, officers with the Atlanta Police Department were dispatched to the West Crossover in reference to a female walking in and out of the men's restroom. Officers made contact with the female at the men's restroom, identified her to be Miss White. During the course of the encounter, officers did determine that she had been issued a criminal trespass warrant on March the 18th of 2024 for panhandling. This all occurred here in Clayton County. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve. 30 days she's to be credited with time served, and also to be suspended upon her not returning to the airport without legitimate business.
You can't go back to the airport now because they're cracking down.
All right.
You can go, but otherwise you just can't go.
All right. So, Miss White, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport unless you have business at the airport on that day. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. All right. Is there anything else for her, Mr. Taylor?
Okay. No, Your Honor, just accept the recommended sentence.
All right. Thank you. You can go back with the sheriff's office, Ms. White. All right, we ready?
All right, we ready?
Let me know.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready to proceed on.
Right, Mr.
Mr.
Can you turn, mute your device?
Mute your device.
We're getting feedback.
We're getting feedback.
All right, thank you. All right, who's this, Mr. Taylor?
Your Honor, this is Ms. Rucker.
All right. Tatiana Amaria Rucker, 2024 CR 05556. Raise your right hand for me.
Your Honor, on this particular case,
Yes, sir.
don't think that the court can accept the plea. She's charged with battery, family violence, but I just reviewed her criminal history.
Yes.
And it appears that she entered a plea to battery, family violence in April of 2021, April 7th of 2021. And that was out of Athens, Clark County State Court.
Okay, is this going to be transferred?
Yes, ma'am. I'm preparing a transfer order.
All right, so ma'am, your attorneys are going to explain this to you, but because you have a previous conviction for battery, family violence, your case is going to be transferred upstairs as a felony to Superior Court.
And Your Honor, that's my fault. I should have told Ms. Taylor that, and I'll explain that to our client.
All right. All right. Ready for whoever's next. I think the last two are Chambers and Jones. And then Ms. Mitchell, I didn't forget about you. I'm just waiting for Ms. Hahn to be free.
Your Honor.
Ma'am.
Your Honor, before the case is transferred, would Your Honor be willing to address a bond in this case? Ms. Rutgers is 8 months pregnant, and
okay, she fighting and putting the baby in danger?
Your Honor, Ms. Rutgers told me what happened. I don't want to impact this new case by saying too much, but she told me what happened on that day, and I believe that we had a good defense. This was going to be an Alford plea. However, since we can't enter a plea today, and the case is, if it's going to be transferred but it hasn't been transferred, if Your Honor would be willing to address bond, so at least she has an opportunity to potentially find somebody to bond her out or be released so that she doesn't have to have her baby while she's in custody, at least the potential of that.
What's the state's position on bond?
No objection, Your Honor. Given her medical condition, state has no objection. I think she will be entitled to a bond.
What is her current bond?
I don't believe she was given a bond on the battery family violence.
Because of the previous conviction?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Well, let's check before I enter a bond and it conflicts with whatever is currently going on, but let me know. And I'll make the bond 2,500.
Okay. Your Honor, I guess, do you want to address it again after I find out, or do you want me to just draft the order and send it?
Draft the order. It's gonna be 2,500.
It was, she was not given a bond because she was on, no, she was on probation. Looks like a terroristic threat.
1710-1 or 1761?
Yes, ma'am, 1710-1, terroristic threats out of Athens, Clark County.
All right, so Ms. Han, I'll give her a bond, but all the conditions, no contact, please go over those extremely well with her so she is clear. Because if she's pregnant, if the victim, alleged victim in this case is the father of the child or any of that, I'm not giving permission for her to have him present during the birth or any of that. So let's be clear.
Yes, Your Honor. She's here. She can hear you and she understands.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll get you the order.
All right, so I'm ready for Weblen's.
Your Honor, we're ready on Angel Jones.
Ms. Jones, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Sure.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court on 2024 CR 05597 For criminal trespass, you're represented by attorney Chelsea Hahn of the law firm of Lister Holt and Dennis. Ms. Hahn, what does your client plead to the offense before the court, criminal trespass?
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. Nolo.
All right, by entering a plea of nolo, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against you. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
I understand.
All right, thank you. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On June 15, 2024, officers with the Atlanta Police Department observed a female with white t-shirt, black shorts, causing the scene in the atrium area of the airport, being loud and boisterous with other passengers. Officers made contact with the individual, identified her to be Miss Angel Jones, and did determine that she had previously been issued a criminal trespass warrant. She was taken into custody from the scene. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation is 12 months to serve 20 days. She's be credited with time served as the balance is suspended upon not returning to the airport without legitimate business at the airport.
All right, Ms. Jones, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 20 days, credit for time served, balance suspended as long as you do not go back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport without business on the date that you're at the airport, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, be careful, Ms. Jones, and please don't go back to the airport, all right?
I will not return, but
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the last case on the jail calendar is Tiffany Chambers. And Ms. Hahn, I'm ready for Ms. Mitchell whenever you are.
Your Honor, I talked to Ms. Mitchell. I just need to share the police report with her, just to make sure that she knows the basis for the accusation. And then, but that's going to be a plea. And then for Ms. Chambers, while Deputy Jones is going to get her, can I have a brief breakout room with Mr. Brooks?
Oh, sure, no problem.
Thank you.
All right, I'll put the courtroom and Mr. Brooks in breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
All right. Let me know when y'all are ready.
Your Honor, we're ready on Ms. Chambers' case.
All right. Tiffany Monique Chambers, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Chambers, you're before the court on two cases. The first case is 202, you can put your hand down. 2022 CR 01895 for open container. And you're represented by the law firm of Lister, Holt and Dennis. Ms. Chelsea Hahn is with you at the podium. The next case is on 2024 CR 05528, no license, driving on a suspended or revoked license and drug related objects. You're also represented by Ms. Hahn. Ms. Hahn, how does your client plead to the offenses on each of the two cases? First, open container.
Your Honor, I believe the state is going to null pros that case. And then for the case ending in 05528, she's going to plead nolo to count 2 and nolo to count 3.
All right. So by entering a plea of nolo to counts 2 and 3, Ms. Chambers, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On June 18, 2024, officers with the Clayton County Police Department were on general patrol in the area of Highway 85 and Roberts Drive. Officer ran the tag of a vehicle, which returned that the owner of the vehicle license was suspended for failure to appear. Officers initiated a traffic stop on that vehicle, identified the driver to be Miss Tiffany Chambers. They did confirm that she was the registered owner of the vehicle and her license was in fact suspended as of May the 28th of 2024. During the course of the inventory search of the vehicle after Ms. Chambers was placed under arrest, the officers did locate a pipe in a bag inside of the vehicle, believed to be a drug-related object. This all occurred here in Clayton County. To counts 2 and counts 3, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days. She'll be credited with time served, and those counts are to run concurrent with one another. Count 1 is being authorized.
All right. How old are you, Ms. Chambers?
I'm 44 years old.
So all day, every day, no alcohol in the car, but you had an open container prior, and now you have a drug objects. I'm thinking that you might benefit from some AA or NA meetings.
Your Honor, if I may, just on the open container, there was she was a passenger and the other person was a driver. Their case was dismissed. So she wasn't driving the car on that day, but no comment on the drug objects.
All right. It wasn't negotiated in this case, Ms. Chambers, but if your life is not what you want it to be, and I know ending up in jail is not where you want to be, then you might want to take advantage of some free help with the AA or NA classes, not classes, but meetings. And the reason I push that so hard is because it's people who are going through what other people are going through. And so it's not somebody talking at you, it's somebody sharing their experiences and their best practices for how to have a better life. And their meetings are everywhere. All the time, and so you can find one where you're comfortable and see if we maybe can get things back on track. Okay. All right. You can go back to the sheriff's office. 12 months, 30 days credit for time served. As long as you have no new violations of the law, the case is suspended. That'll run concurrent. All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, nothing else.
Okay, just think about it, Ms. Chambers.
Thank you.
All right. All right, now, Ms. Mitchell.
Your Honor, we're ready on Ms. Mitchell.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, you can unmute for me. Ashley, oh, wait, where'd she go? Ashley Shante Mitchell, 2021 CR 05925 for no insurance. Raise your right hand for me. The other hand. That's okay. Happens all the time. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So you're before the court for no insurance, case 2021 CR 05925. Mr. Taz Taylor is representing you from the law firm of Lister, Holt and Dennis. Mr. Taylor, what does your client plead to the offense of no insurance?
Your Honor, my client is pleading nolo contendere.
All right. By entering a plea of nolo, ma'am, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, ma'am. On April 10th, 2021, officers for the Clayton County Sheriff's Department were doing traffic enforcement in the area of Riverdale Road and Forest Parkway. They encountered a vehicle, which they identified not having insurance per check of the tag. They initiated a traffic stop, identified the driver of the vehicle, Miss Ashley Mitchell. During the course of the investigation, officers did confirm through Miss Mitchell that she didn't have valid insurance. This all occurred here in Clayton County. State's recommendation is $200 fine.
All right. So, Miss Mitchell, the fine is going to be $200 with the surcharges. That'll be $298. Did you need more than 30 days to pay that? I can give you up to 60 days.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'll give you 60 days in which to pay. What I'm going to ask you to do is, do you know how to use the chat function now? I'm going to need you to chat your email address to Miss Amanda Wright, RYTE. So when you click on the blue name that comes up in the chat function, then her name should be the first one in the pull down menu.
Your Honor, in speaking with Ms. Mitchell,
Yes.
she may need longer than the typical 60 days, and we're asking for pay-only probation to allow Ms. Mitchell to have the time to pay that the fine and the associated fees.
Okay, is she able to do it in 90 days?
Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am. 90 days sounds better.
Okay, I'll do that. And then that way you don't have to be bothered with probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All righty. So just go ahead and send Ms. Wright your email address. And once you've done that, then you'll be free to go. Just make sure you pay it within the 90 days, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Amanda. Okay, here you go.
All right. Anything else at this time, Miss Wright? Let me know if you've received it.
Yes, ma'am, I have it. Just finished writing it down.
Okay, no problem. All right. So, Ms. Mitchell, just make sure you pay that within the 90 days, okay? If we don't have anything else, then that concludes the calendar. Ladies and gentlemen who are on the trial calendar, please make sure you go grab some lunch. We'll be back in court at 12:30.